grownfolksmusic.com.
Welcome back to grownfolksmusic.com.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
We're happy to have you. You mentioned, you asked me how I was doing, and I asked you, but really I wanted to start off by asking you, how are you doing? Because I know, if I'm correct from looking at Instagram, you and your family had a brush with COVID. Is that
We did.
correct?
We did.
So, how are you doing?
Yeah, we got it in the beginning of the year, somewhere between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We tested positive, I think, on the 4th of January, 2021. And we didn't get a serious. I guess we kind of got lucky by not getting something too severe. None of us had to ever go to the hospital or had trouble breathing or even a high fever. Half of the family was asymptomatic. The other half was tired and fatigued.
Mm.
But we were blessed to not have to deal with what I know so many others are dealing with. Saying that, I think I'm still fatigued and I don't feel the same. I don't feel
Mm.
like, I don't know how much of that is just the pandemic and how much of it is COVID related. But I still feel a little sluggish and lethargic. But overall, from like I was saying, overall, I'm blessed and I shouldn't be, even complaining at all. So we're doing okay.
Good, glad to hear it. Here at Grown Folks Music, as you might guess, we get a lot of guests on here who are veterans in the music industry and who may have been away for a while, and then they come back and talk to us, and they're very excited about new music and their plans for the future. And they give us one single, and then it's crickets. We
Yeah.
don't hear anymore from them. It's kind of like they start and then
Yeah.
they stall out. But not you. Two
Yeah.
years ago, when you were here, you told us that you had a lot of music to release, and you were not joking. You have
I will.
released single after single and video after video, two EPs. Just
Yeah.
talk about the commitment that you've had to consistency and your vision for who you're going to be as a solo artist.
I love that question. I really do because I'd be lying if I said I never battled where I'm at in terms of releasing music as a public artist. I will always do music. I think it's in my blood. It's the way we were raised. It's therapeutic for me. But I think the difference and the thing that I did that I'm so proud that I did and that I'm hanging on to is my focus isn't charts and positions and awards. My focus is simply my family and my fans, and they are my reward, and they far exceeded my expectations of how I thought my music would be received. And they've inspired me, and that is very true. It was a couple years ago we sat down and I said I have a lot of music and I have a lot more music and plans. And I think for any quote unquote veteran musician or someone who's been in the game for as long as I have, if you're going to come back, because a lot of the times the reason why you stop is because you see the dark side of the industry. You see all the politics of the industry. But my advice to anyone who's contemplating coming back is to make sure you do it for you and your fans. And if you could do that, your love for why you're doing music in the first place will be prominent and at the forefront, which will allow you to continue on and to do it why you should be doing it, because you enjoy it. And that's where I'm at. I still have some bouts where I'm like tired, especially with the social media. It's a whole nother game.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can get a little tiring, checking everything and posting. But I made a commitment to myself and my family that I will pause and slow that down if needed. I plan on doing this for many more years and just sharing my creativity. However that's received, it is what it is. But I have a lot of creative art that I want to share, and that's what I'll continue to do.
I think because you look so young, I don't think the grown folks really realize that you have been in this game a long time. And thank you for
Yeah,
mentioning the fans. Talk about the fans because they have been riding with you
yeah.
for 25 years, and just talk about what it means to still be able to connect with the fans and that they have shown up the way that they have for you.
It's been everything. I'm not kidding when I say that. You know, as I said, they've exceeded my expectations on how well they've received me and how much love they show me. And, you know, whether it's drawings or paintings or performances or, you know, even sharing my content, and there's DMs that tell me how much my music is helping them get through some difficult times. There's many of those, and that is everything to me, you know. And the beautiful thing about doing music in today's time for someone like me who was so used to CDs and you
Mhm.
know, meeting people face to face, and it was a whole different type of promotion, is a whole different game. But the beautiful thing doing it today is you can connect with everyone instantly. You know, I have a great Facebook official group where it's like the fan club back in the day, but it's you know, it's virtual, and you could see things, and it's quick. And you know, even the live chats I do on Instagram or YouTube, it's beautiful to see and feel the interaction. So I actually am enjoying this more.
Mm.
You know, I obviously miss touring, which I'm hoping we'll get back to as things open up. But I'm so enjoying the fan experience that I get to experience from this side in 2021.
I think for any of the grown folks who watch this, if they're asking what fans, I challenge them to go on YouTube and look at some older footage of
Yeah,
the 3T European fans, and that
yeah,
time you guys were in France, and that's where they almost tipped over your car. It
y-
was amazing,
yeah.
amazing.
They've been amazing, you know, and we went through some periods where we didn't release music for almost a decade, and they still been so loyal and there for us. And speaking about 3T, it's the 25th year anniversary
The
that since
brotherhood.
we released our very first debut album. And for those of you who may want to see a new HD version of anything, it was just released on YouTube. So there's a lot of cool, exciting things coming up in the 3T world. We're going to release a lot of our older videos that weren't in HD back then,
Hmm.
now in 4K. Um, but yeah, it's a time period that I'll never forget, that I'll always cherish. And like you said, you know, a lot of those fans are still with me and still supporting me, and there's nothing more I could ask for as an artist.
Since you brought up 3T and Brotherhood 25, I'm putting Grown Folks Music's hat in the ring to have the brothers come on and chat
Yeah,
about Brotherhood 25. So we're
because I
putting it
know
out there now.
you know your stuff. You know your music. I remember that. You know, you talking about Tease Me. I think it was after the
Mm-hmm.
interview we spoke about that. But you know, hopefully we will do some interviews. I think the plan at first was to do a tour, but COVID shelved that. So hopefully, you know, maybe next year this time we'll be able to celebrate the 25 years of brotherhood. And if we do, you know, we'll be calling you up and
Thank
making
you.
sure you do interview us.
Good. MMM is the new album coming
Yeah,
up. Are you going to give the fans a chance to guess what that means?
I did that.
Oh,
I
you
already
did it.
did
I
that.
missed
I
it.
did. I again back to my so for anyone who's watching, I do a lot of contests in my Facebook
Mhm.
group. It's the TJ Jackson official Facebook group. And there I do a lot of contests where you can win a variety of stuff. Oftentimes it's signed photos, or you know, a private chat. I try to make sure it's engaging and fun. And I did that about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I let my Facebook group guess what MMM stood for. I gave everyone one guess and
Mhm.
told them, you know, if you get one of the M's, you win, and the first person to get one right. And I will say this: all three M's were guessed right because MMM
Mm.
does stand for something. They just don't know what word who won because I'm holding that until I'm ready to announce the title, and obviously they don't know the order. So there are three winners that in my Facebook group that are going to get a 10. It's actually a 9 minute because nine's my favorite number. A 9 minute virtual one-on-one chat. So, but I do those kind of things, and that's exactly what I mean about doing it today.
Mhm.
It's so much more enjoyable for me because I get to just at the spur of the moment create contests like that make the whole experience better for me as an artist and better for the fans. and it's made everything so much more exciting and enjoyable for me.
You said that, or read that you said that lo-fi married with R&B is the direction that you want to go in with this album, and
Yeah,
it's already evident on the first single, Dream
yeah.
Girl. What is it about this sound that caught you? What turned you on to this sound?
It's I was in Nashville about a little over a year ago recording, and my son came with me.
Mhm.
It was, he got to spend 10 days with his father, and he was videotaping, and we'd go bowling on off days and just do fun stuff, father and son stuff. And I let him, whenever I'm with him, I try to let him control all the music. If I'm not listening to a mix or a
Mhm.
new song that we just wrote or worked on, I want him to control the music because I want to know what he's liking and really what's going on in the world. Because if it's up to me, I'm just going to listen to my classics. So he just started playing a lot of lo-fi and chill hop, and I was grooving with it. And I was actually really happy he was, because it's more melodic than just straight up hip hop. And I have nothing bad to say about hip hop. I'm a big hip hop fan myself, but as a singer, as an R&B artist, I do like my music with a little bit more melody. And the lo-fi he was playing had that. So fast forward 3 months after that, I remember I was in a pool, and it was on the speaker lo-fi, and I told my wife, I said, I think I need to do an album that's lo-fi, because a lot of lo-fi is just instrumental, and I would
Mhm.
always sing melodies, hear and sing melodies to these already published songs. And I was like, I think I want to do an album like this. And with COVID just starting, it was like, I'm not going to be able to tour anyway, so this may be the time to do a project where it's just chill and you can listen to.
Mhm.
So that's what I did. 8, 9 months later, that's where I'm at. I've pretty much finished the album, and every month or so, every 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to release a song from MMM. And the idea and the goal is to do a whole little movie.
Hmm.
And a lot, I can't get to the director that I absolutely love and cherish because he's in France. So I have to wait till COVID slows down so we can travel. But when that happens, we've already started working on doing a whole movie for the album. And maybe in the fall or winter, I'll release an album for or a movie for MMM. That's the ultimate goal.
Well,
And I
you
haven't revealed that. So that's a exclusive for grown folks music.
That's what's up. Where do you get your ideas for your videos? Because each of your videos have been different and the treatment
Yeah.
has been different. Who comes up with the ideas, the director, or you have a vision?
It's a little both. Insomnia and I Don't Deserve This. I had those initial ideas. I actually had got the exact term, but like a board on Pinterest, like a mood board where I put all the pictures of the ideas all in black and white, sensual, love, even Paris. I had an Eiffel Tower in black and white. And I knew I wanted the video to be in that vein. And the director, they nailed it. And same with I Don't Deserve This. I knew I wanted it to be in the desert and kind of unique and different, and he came up with a great treatment. He expanded on that. And the other videos from well, last night I did with Taj, my eldest brother, but I Can't Stand It and Obsession. That's the team I work with. And like I said, I love the way they create. They're very artistic, and I'm excited to get to work on the MMM movie. So yeah, they're the ones I got to work with. And there's some out here that I do like in LA, but I'm going to stay with them, and it's just too enjoyable, and I'm too impressed with what they do.
The last time we talked to you, I purposely did not ask you anything about your uncle because I wanted the grown folks to be interested in and curious about you as an artist and what you were doing. But this time, I would like to ask if your uncle was here, would you seek his input in your music right now?
Yeah.
And what artists or sounds do you think that he would be embracing for his work?
Oh, okay. Um, First of all, I would definitely. My uncle was one of very few that we shared our music with before it came out. We trusted his advice. He was our biggest inspiration as musicians. And I would definitely be playing him my music and getting ideas and bouncing ideas off of him. He was just so sharp in that way. He can hear something and by the first chorus know how it should look and what you should be wearing, and he just knew it. And he was always he was always seemed to be always on it and right. And if we didn't do something, then another big pop artist would do, and he's like, see.
Mm.
But he just knew that stuff. And as far as his music, I think he'd be pushing the envelope. I don't really know if I can compare what I think he'd be doing to anything that's out there. I really don't. He was big on that. He was big on having something completely unique. His last studio album, Invincible, it was very futuristic sounding at the time. It was very cutting edge. And I think he would have continued to push that. It would have been very interesting to hear what he would have came up with. All I know is I would have been a huge fan of what my uncle would be doing musically right now.
Thank you for that. This is the part of the interview where you get to shout it out again and tell us all things TJ Jackson, where we're going to get the new album, the new
Yeah,
singles, all of that. I would say touring, but we're on pause right now,
we're
and
on
just
pause.
all things and where we can catch you on all of your platforms.
Cool. So if you go to www.tjjackson.com, that is my official website. You can go to TJ Jackson World on YouTube or Facebook. But I think the best thing for anyone who wants to know more or understand what's going on with me is to subscribe to my newsletter. I try to get a newsletter out every other week that describes all the inside stuff and what I'm looking to do in the future. And I try to make sure it's it's rewarding for anyone who reads it, with some positive advice. I think is important for me, for anyone who has a voice to speak positivity. So I would suggest signing up for my newsletter. And that, again, you could do that at www.tjjackson.com. And finally, I just started releasing a lot of my music on physical platforms, from vinyls to CDs, and those have been selling really well. I have a lot of fans that are in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s, and it's been a cool experience for them when they receive a CD and open it. It feels like they're teens again. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to continue to do that. But if you are one of those who streams, I'm everywhere on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Tidal, Deezer, all those platforms. You can find my music.
TJ, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with us. Last time we spoke, we were in downtown Atlanta and the traffic was giving us everything it could, all the sound it could. And you just hung in there and you were so gracious to us. And
Oh,
I'm so grateful for that. So thank you so much for always just being so great to us.
you are more than welcome. And I look forward to doing another in a year or so with the new project. I think so highly of what you're doing and grown folks music. And I will always be here to support you guys. And I want to thank you for supporting myself, 3T, and my family. It's people like you. I think sometimes people think it's, the Rolling Stones and the Billboard magazine and those big outlets that get us going. But it's people like you who listen to the music and who are passionate about it and know the details. Those are the interviews I love to do. So I look forward to talking again. And in the meantime, just please be safe.
You too. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.
GrownFolksMusic.com